What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Night Owl channel. In this video, we will be going over a highly requested video, the Queen Charge Hybrid Attack Strategy at Town Hall 10, and we'll be covering two different variations using the Wall Wrecker and the Siege Barracks. You guys have been dying for me to get this video out, so let's go ahead and jump in on how to do it so you guys can start performing it correctly to take down the bases you need to take down in war and all that good stuff. Before we jump into the replays, let's go ahead and take a look at the army composition used for this strategy. If you go over to Quick Train, we can see we have army number 5, and in army number 5 we have a baby dragon, 2 loons, 5 wall breakers, 10 hogs, 12 miners, 5 healers, 4 wizards, 2 archers, 3 heals, 2 rages, a poison. And then in your clan castle, if you bring a wall wrecker or a blimp, you usually bring Valkyries or like a Yeti and a couple Valkyries. And then in your siege barracks, you always bring hog riders. For the spell, you can either use a poison spell or a freeze spell. I usually use the freeze spell in my composition, but you're welcome to try the poison as well. Also, the composition changes a little bit depending on the base you're going against. If you don't need the baby dragon for funneling, you can always drop it. If you don't need wall breakers because you're using a wall wrecker, you can drop them. The strategy changes based on the base that you're attacking, and of course what you need in the attack versus, you know, the troops that you're bringing and stuff like that. So with that being said, we're going to jump into 2 wall wrecker replays, and then the rest of them are going to be siege barracks replays. The siege barracks is the best complement for this strategy at any level for the hybrid attack strategy. So if you can get your hands on a siege barracks and you can queen charge effectively, you'll be 3-starring pretty much any base with this strategy. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first replay for Town Hall 10 Queen Charge Hybrid. Alright, first replay we got here, we've got an interesting almost max Town Hall 10. It's got the walls to do, and that is pretty much it. It's got all the defenses done. The heroes aren't a very high level, but the defenses themselves are pretty high level. So let's see how we take this down using the wall wrecker. I have not set it yet, but you can see on the bottom I don't have a baby dragon. I don't have wall breakers. I assume that I could take down the base and funnel accordingly without the baby dragon, stuff like that. Again, it's up to you guys what you guys want to use with the strategy. You don't have to use a baby dragon. You don't have to use wall breakers, depending on what you're bringing in the CC. You also see I have the extra poison spell instead of the extra freeze. So again, experiment, see what you like. Again, going against certain bases, you're going to need certain things, so make sure to adjust accordingly. Alright, so let's go ahead and play it here, and the main thing you want to do when you're doing the Queen Charge Hybrid Attack is take down the CC. In this variation, I'm bringing the Wall Wrecker instead of the Siege Barracks, so I don't have to worry about pushing my Queen in. I just need my Wall Wrecker to get in, pull out the CC, and to take them down. Now, usually you want the Queen to go in with the Wall Wrecker, but unfortunately, the Wall Wrecker is going to take down that mortar and is going to push her around to the right side of the base. So, Queen's pushing in, she's going to go around, Walker's now inside the base. Let's see what happens as it gets closer and closer, and I believe I have Valkyries in this replay. No Yetis, I believe it's all Valkyries. And they're going to come out of the wall wrecker. They're going to kill the queen. They got the multi right there. Lots of good value for those Valkyries as they take down all that good value. So the main thing, another main thing you want to focus on with hybrid is pathing. Okay, so my pathing for this base is going to be from this area right here where the wizard tower is, archer towers, and the king. And they're going to push into the left and then bounce up to the upside of the base or to the 12 o'clock corner. You really want to focus on pathing with the hybrid. Make sure you're planning in your head before you attack a base. Where do I want my hybrid to go? Where do I want to funnel them? You can see the king on the bottom, funneling the left side of the base, so that way when I put my hybrid down, they all stay together. If you have buildings on the outside, you know, defenses or storages or anything that can attract miners and hogs away from the middle of the base, it's going to make the attack a lot weaker because the hybrid together is a lot stronger than when they're not together. As you can see that the hogs and the miners are kind of splitting up a little bit, which means I have to use my heals for either the hog riders or I have to use it for the miners. You can see I'm using the rage of my miners along with the extra heal in order to keep them alive to push them through the base. And the hog riders on that right side are finally going to catch up with the miners again. So now they're all together and doing tons of damage to the base. The wall wrecker variation and the battle blimp variation is not as strong as the siege barracks variation. You get a lot more power with the siege barracks. You get the extra P.E.K.K.A.s coming out. You get the extra hog riders. It is like 10 times stronger using the siege barracks than using the Wilt Walker and the battle blimp. But if you do not have the ability to get a siege barracks because you need to get it from a Town Hall 13, the Wall Wrecker and the battle blimp are good alternatives in order to get that 3-star. But all the hog riders die out here. One thing you want to keep in mind if you ever change the composition for this strategy, if you bring the siege barracks, you can always bring less hogs and more miners. It's always a good idea to bring more miners and hogs because the hogs always tend to die out usually because they go too fast, or they split from the miners usually, or they just end up getting killed. They're going to skip over the buildings and the non-defensive buildings. So they're going to go straight into the defenses and the core of the base, wherever the defenses are, and get attacked by heroes and other defenses and stuff like that. So you really have to be wary of making sure that you either bring more miners or relatively the same amount. In this one I actually bring more hogs than miners, but usually you want to bring more miners and hogs because the miners are usually the ones that are cleaning up the base and taking down the remainder, as the hogs usually die out and stuff like that because they don't stay together as much as you would like them to. But it's still a very, very strong strategy. Let's go and jump to the next replay for Queen Charge Hybrid. Alright, next replay we got here, we have a little bit of a different composition on the bottom as you can see, but before we jump into the replay, again, with hybrid you want to predict the pattern, you want to make the path for your hybrid before you attack the base. Get an idea of where you want them to go, and so you can take down the base easily, get through the objectives you need to get down, and take it down. So again, objective number 1 is the CC, we're going to charge in with the wall wrecker, take it down, and then the path you can see here, this is the pathing that I want for my hybrid. I want them to come down through the expo, and then to the left side of the base, go through the multi, and then out into the town hall. That's the path I want for my hybrid because I want them to stay in the base and stay around. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to use the queen on the left side in order to funnel everything up there, and then I'm going to use the king on the right side to funnel everything on the opposite side. So the hybrid stays in the middle. Let's go ahead and play it here, and we're going to now witness what I was just talking about. So I want to set the funnel of the left and the right side of the hybrid. It's very, very basic. Wherever you want your hybrid to go, you set the funnel to the left and right side of the hybrid. I want my hybrid to come in from that expo. Okay. So everything from the left of that and everything to the right of that needs to be funneled, so that way the hybrid, the hogs and the miners, will shoot straight into the expo, okay? So that's a very important thing. We have the baby dragon on the left of the queen, so she goes to the right to clear out all of the buildings. See how that works? The baby dragon takes out everything on the left, so the queen has nowhere to go but right. She's going to clear that left side for the hybrid, and then we have the king on the opposite side. Here he comes right now. He's going to clear that side along with a couple of wizards or whatever, just to make sure that the hybrid stays on track. Wallworker's going to push in towards that multi, take it down by itself, and pull out the CC. Usually, again, you want your queen to go with the Wallworker. It's not a big deal. Just make sure that the Wallworker is getting into the base and taking down, or at least pulling out, the CC. That first rage comes down. It's kind of to help the Valkyries coming out. Is there a Yeti there? No Yeti, just Valkyries. It was kind of meant for just the Valkyries. I was kind of see if the queen might have wanted to go that way, but she did not. King went down kind of early, so this is why the siege barracks, and you're going to see in the next few replays why the siege barracks is very superior to the wall wreckers, because my king's not maxed. He's only level 30 in this account, and he was unable to really get a lot of a funnel on that right side, but just enough so that way at least the miners you can see go towards the middle of the base and they take down the target, which was the expo. We have the rage coming down, we have heals, and then now we're just using the remainder of our spells to support, the majority of where the hybrid's going to go. Hybrid and miners, or not hybrid and miners, hogs and miners are going to push together towards the base, wherever they're going to go, towards that Tesla, towards the town hall. So that's where you're going to want to place your spells in order to protect them. The Wallworker variation is not, again, I'm just going to iterate it, it's not as strong as the siege barracks one. You don't have as much control because you don't have as much troops as you will with the siege barracks. And then of course you have to make sure that you're using your spells wisely to keep your hogs and miners as long as possible so they can survive through the base and stuff like that. But that's pretty much the basics on how to do it. We're going to do the same thing with the Queen Charge Hybrid using a Siege Barracks. It's very, very similar, but this time you're going to need wall breakers to break into the base. And it makes funneling a lot easier when you use the Siege Barracks. I mean, like 10 times easier to use it because you have the P.E.K.K.A.s coming out, you have wizards, and then of course you have the strength of the Hog Riders that are in the Siege Barracks coming out to assist the hybrid part. I mean, it's just a very overpowering attack when you have a Siege Barracks, but you're also able to do it with a wall wrecker or a blimp if you have nothing else to use. So make sure you practice in matchmaking. Do not just jump straight into war. And when you're attacking in matchmaking, again, just predict, visualize where you want your hybrid to go, and then set your funneling on the left and right side of that in order to set them through the middle of the base or wherever they're trying to go to get that 3-star. Let's go ahead and jump to the next replay. Alright, so next replay we got here, we've got one of my members' gun hitting my base with the Queen Charge Hybrid attack strategy. I want to start with this one with the Siege Barracks because the ones that I was using, they weren't really queen charges, so I wanted to show the significance of a queen charge in order to get the clan castle. My bases are built around the clan castle in order to make it very difficult to get the clan castle, so you must queen charge my base in order to get the CC out. And Gun's going to show us how he did it in this replay using the queen charge hybrid. He's going to set up his pathing, push in with the queen charge, take the CC out, and then set up his pathing with his king and siege barracks in order to get the 3-star. Go ahead and play it here. And you can see on the bottom, his composition's a little different. He's got more wall breakers, he's got more baby dragons, his miners and hogs are of the same number. Again, guys, it's whatever is comfortable to you. He's using 2 baby dragons to funnel left and right side of his queen to push her in. Here comes a couple of wall breakers to push her in. Make sure to send a couple of test wall breakers so you're not getting, your wall breakers all killed at one time and then you can't push in the base and then your queen charges fail. The most important part of a queen charge is the wall breaker part, so make sure that you send at least one by itself. Just send one, make sure he gets all the bombs around that area, and you push her in. If you have to rage it, like you see how he's raging it right now, if he didn't get in the wall, he could use a rage wall breaker just by placing a wall breaker underneath a rage spell and break her in. Anyway, queen's pushing in now, taking a lot of fire around there, a lot of archer towers, cannons, point defenses, and here comes the CC. Okay, good. So objective was completed. Here's his siege barracks on the 3 o'clock corner. He's got the CC. Once you get the CC, you are now able to set up the pathing for the base and 3-star and hit it with your hybrid. All right, freeze on that backside X-bow along the archer tower, and queen's taking a lot of fire here, almost down, but she survives just barely, and then her ability is going to get popped right now. We have the P.E.K.K.A coming out of the siege barracks, goes down to a single, and there you go. The king is supporting the siege barracks to help clear that funnel. This is why the siege barracks is superior to the wall wrecker and the blimp. Look at the funneling value that the siege barracks gives you versus, you know, the wall wrecker or just the king by himself. The king by himself is a great funneling troop, but he cannot do it all by himself. He's going to go down, he takes a lot of damage, and eventually he will go down. With that siege barracks and the max hog riders coming out of the CC, you don't need max hog riders. You can bring level 7, you know, level 6, level 8, level 9, whatever it is. But just that extra reinforcements of hog riders really makes this attack strategy a lot more powerful than it's supposed to be. That siege barracks changed the way the game has been played. And if you can use the siege barracks effectively with the hybrid attack strategy, you'll be getting a 3-star pretty much every single time against pretty much any base. Again, you just remember your basics, take down the CC, you know, charge if you need to. You're going to see with my attack strategies, I recognize I can get the CC without charging into the base. If you can take down a base or get the CC out without charging, you can drop your wall breakers and bring extra hog riders. You can bring extra baby dragon. You can bring extra loons. If you notice in the base that the CC is not centered properly, you can take advantage of that and get an even easier 3-star, which I'm going to show you in the next replay. All right, I'm going to have it play straight through. This is me attacking gun now. I'm attacking his base. And again, very easy to get his CC out. I noticed there's loons coming out, so he must have either mass loons or maybe a baby dragon or something. There comes a dragon, you know, so he didn't have a lot of, like, it wasn't a trash CC, so I didn't really have to worry about pushing into the base. If a lot of archers or a lot of goblins or, you know, I guess people use barbarian, if you see a lot of single unit defense units come out, like a bunch of archers or something, that means it's a trash CC, which means you cannot use just one hog in order to get the CC out. You're going to have to charge it. You're going to have to queen charge the base. But since I knew there's a couple of loons were coming out and then a dragon, I'm like, okay, so that's all he has in the CC. I can pull it out easily with a couple hogs, and now I can get to the base pretty easy. So now I'm dropping a bunch of wall breakers. I didn't need them. This is a friendly challenge. I didn't need them. I just was placing them down for distraction purposes, just, you know, just to check for stuff and just get rid of them. I didn't need the wall breakers. Again, I could get the CC out early and take them down pretty easily. Anyway, we're setting up the pathing for the hybrid already on the left side of the base. King's on the top side, along with the siege barracks, and now we're pushing into the base. This is the pathing that I want for my hybrid. I want them to come through the base, through this left side, and then out into the right side. It's a very simple pattern. As soon as you get your CC, you know, the enemy CC killed, again, just set up your pathing for the base, have it visualized already. You want to get into the base. Where do you want to go? How do you want to get your hybrid in? Make sure you can get them to stay together. You heal and you rage them. If you have any rages left, you heal and you rage them together, okay? I have no rages left over. I use both of them for my queen. But as you can see here comes all the miners and all the hog riders. I got 3 heals to keep them all alive and push through this base. Very simple strategy, guys. Very powerful. It's very, you know, there's not a lot of steps involved. You just take out the CC, all right? So if you need a queen charge, you queen charge. If you need to use a wall wrecker to get in deep, that's fine. You need a battle blimp, that's fine. And then once you've done that, you use either the siege barracks if you have one, or the king himself in order to set the funneling for the base in order to get the 3-star that you want. And as you can see here, it's going to be another easy triple against a pretty compact base. Not very difficult at all to take down bases with the queen charge hybrid attack strategy. Make sure you practice it again in matchmaking before you go into war and use it. It's a very, very strong strategy. It's changed the way the clashes work since it, you know, became a meta for this game. And I definitely recommend you guys trying it. Get your hogs up, get your miners up, and start using the queen charge hybrid now, so that way when you get to talent 12 and talent 13, you'll be a master at it, because the principles still apply the same at talent 12 and 13. You'll be able to get there and 3-star the bases that you need to in order to get the, you know, the wins and the loot that you need for your team. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I'm gonna have a few more replays played so you can see it working on different types of bases. I tried to get the best replays I could. It took me a while to get this, you know, this video out, because again, I'm very, you know, I'm trying not to take away the credibility of the attack by putting out, you know, easy attacks. You know, I'm attacking matchmaking bases, or I'm attacking friendly challenges. I don't want people to assume that I'm just getting 3-stars because it's easy, because they're easy bases. So that's why it takes me a while to get some attack videos out, because I want to make sure I have the best replays and against the best bases and all that. But that's all for the video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. If it helps, definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want me to make a separate video for like battle blimps and stuff like that, I can do that as well. It'll probably be like matchmaking replays because I'm not gonna wait, you know, a whole month just to try to get some replays against Talotans. It's hard to find the, you know, good bases and stuff like that. But again, if it helped, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.